Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is a translation of a dars given by Imam Rashid Sahib. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allah has made the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam an excellent exemplar for the entire world, and it is a great favor of the Holy Prophet ﷺ on the entire world that he has clearly explained all religious matters and obligations very clearly. He not only explained them, but he also put them into practice and presented them. And then the blessed wives of the Holy Prophet ﷺ and his companions have done us a tremendous favor, that they saw these things, heard them and remembered them, and then very carefully and very clearly narrated them for the guidance of the Ummah. In the religious matters, and the proper offering of Salat is the most important obligation. And in this regard, we have been speaking about the traditions of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. And today as well, we are going to continue. And in this, we learn about how the Holy Prophet ﷺ himself used to offer Salat. And without doubt, this for us is a guiding light for us. So we should listen to this tradition carefully, and we should try to act upon it, and you should try to act in the same manner as the Holy Prophet ﷺ used to act. In this tradition, the Holy Prophet ﷺ's wife, Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa Zanha, narrates, and she narrates this based on her observing the Holy Prophet ﷺ on close quarters, and she was able to remember everything that he did. And she relates that when the Holy Prophet ﷺ would begin his Salat, he would say Allahu Akbar. When Allahu Akbar is said when there is a congregational prayer in the mosque, it is Aqama is done, Allahu Akbar is done. It's also called Takbirul Aqama. So he began by saying Allahu Akbar, and then he would recite Surah Fatiha, that's the first chapter of the Holy Quran, and then he would go through various positions of Salat, and the details of this are explained by Hazrat Aisha Zanha. She said that when he would bow down, he would neither keep his head up, nor would he put it too far down. He would keep it in the same level as his back when he was in the bowing position. This is something that we have to keep in mind, that Salat is a time of humbleness and meekness before Allah. So one should bow one's back as much as possible to indicate that humbleness, but your head should not bow so far down that it should be below the level of your back. So it is wrong to have your head in a different direction. It should be completely horizontal with the back. So the back should be bowed as much as possible, but the head must also be bowed in the same manner. And then the next stage is described, that when the Holy Prophet ﷺ would get up from this bowing position, then he would stand up straight and then go into prostration. This is very important, because sometimes when someone bows down and then before he stands up completely straight, he goes down to prostrate. This is not correct at all. The style of the Holy Prophet ﷺ is very clear, that his method is very clear, that after being in the position of bowing or ruku, he should then stand up again like he did before, so that it is indicated that one part of the salat is finished, and now it's the next part. And then the Holy Prophet ﷺ would go into a state of prostration, and then he would sit up completely straight. This is the next stage after he did prostration. So there are different some conditions and some instructions with regard to prostration which are mentioned in other traditions. But as far as the position is concerned, one's forehead and one's nose should be touching the ground. One of them should not be raised, so one should display a complete humbleness in one's action by touching the forehead and the nose to the ground completely. And while we go into prostration, you should remember that one's arms should not touch the ground. You should support your body with your hands, and your arms must not touch your stomach or your thighs. Sometimes one adapts such methods because one is tired or one feels easy when one does this, but this results in a kind of laziness or lethargy. So in order to maintain alertness, one should keep one's hand on the floor, and one should one's forehead and nose should touch the ground, and one's elbows should never touch the floor. They should be raised up. They should not be touching the body either. One should be completely attentive. Imam Sahib is saying that he's making it abbreviated a bit. Then the Holy Prophet ﷺ would sit up, and then he would sit up completely and then go back into the next prostration. So these separate parts of the salat must be performed individually and completely, so that each position is separated. Between the two prostrations, there is a very beautiful prayer which Allah has instructed us to do, which is we should benefit from this and say it. If we do not pause between the two prostrations and we quickly go to the next one, then we lose out on the blessings of this amazing prayer. So after prostration, you should sit down, recite that prayer, and then go to the next prostration. All of these things Hazrat Aisha Anha has taught us with tremendous clarity, and this is what is for us is been saved so that we can act accordingly. Then Hazrat Aisha Anha said that after every 2 rakats, the Holy Prophet ﷺ would sit down for tashahhud. If there are 2, then we sit down and do tashahhud and then stand up if there are 3, or stay sitting if it's 2. So Imam Sahib is saying that people usually know this. And the other important thing is that when we sit down, what should we do? How should we sit down? Aisha Anha says that the Holy Prophet ﷺ would keep his right foot raised up, and he would get his left foot to lay on the ground. So it forms acts like a cushion. That is, the left foot should act like a cushion on which one sits down, and the right foot should be like a support. This is a very comfortable position to sit in, and it is a way in which one can comfortably concentrate on one's prayers. And then this tradition continues that the Holy Prophet ﷺ would tell people not to sit like Satan. So this means that to sit on one's toes and raise both feet and bend the toes and then sit on top of them, that is the Holy Prophet ﷺ did not like, and he told people not to do that. So the proper way to sit is to raise the right foot and lay down lay the left foot and sit on top of this. This was extremely disliked by the Holy Prophet ﷺ, to sit on both toes. So one should keep well away from this manner. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ was also used to say that people should not put their arms on the ground. So one's hands should be on the ground, the right hand and the left hand, but one's elbows should always be higher. From the Imam Sahib is saying, the wrist, the part of the arm that is meant here is the part between the elbow and the wrist. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ said that this is how a dog sits. So the Holy Prophet ﷺ has very clearly instructed us that we should not sit in that manner at all. We should sit honorably and in a dignified manner, and we should attentively offer our salat properly. And this was the manner of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. And then Hazrat Aisha has said that then he would say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah and end his salat. So it's a very brief and a very comprehensive explanation of how one should offer one's salat. Each and every part of salat to be offered properly. This is the manner we see in the life of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and this is the blessed manner of salat which is acceptable to Allah. So this example of the Holy Prophet ﷺ should always be remembered, and we should never think of an easier method for our comfort. From the beginning to the end of the salat, we should pray in this manner, and in every single thing we should try to follow the Holy Prophet ﷺ's blessed practice, and this is blessed for us, and this is what we should try to do, and may Allah enable us to do so. Ameen summa ameen.